Alrighty, I'm going to be installing a nice new porch light. The one we're taking down is all rusty. Here in the country I was born in, we use 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, white is neutral, the bare of the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a 110, 120 volt switch loop or in a 220, 240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. So we're going to swap out a rusty light for this nice brand new black one that's rust free. Okay, so we'll get our work lights out up here so we can see up here better. Okay, so first we'll start with taking down our rusted fixture here. I'll have to use my pliers and force it. Now if we're lucky, our new fixture will fit right on these posts here. Hook up to these wires. The wires up here are very old and brittle, so I'm not going to go back behind those. Okay, the mounting holes look different on this one, so we're going to have to change our bracket up here. Well, we don't get upset about losing screws. we'll just go grab some more. We don't get frustrated. It's not going to help anything. And if we have hopefully I'll find that screw, but if I don't, I don't. I'm not going to get all bent out of shape. I'm not going to get all frustrated. It's because it's not going to help me. So there's our other screw hole. Now I'm going to look where that screw fell, and if I find it, good. If I don't, I'm not going to get upset. And it doesn't look like I'm going to find it, so you know what? We're not going to carry on about it. We're not going to get upset. So I had another one in my bag, and so I'm going to be able to be thankful for what I have. Because what good will come from complaining and crying about what you don't have and what you lose? Absolutely nothing. So we're going to put our screw in the hole here. And if I have to force it, I'll just force it, that's all. There it goes. Okay, so we got our bracket up here. We'll just center it on our box a little bit better here. There it is. So here in the country I was born in, your black wire is live. And your white wire is neutral. So we'll tighten our bracket screws here to lock it in place. So we have our black, which is live, our white, which is neutral, and we have the screen screw we hook our ground wire to. But since this wiring is older up above here, there's no ground, but we are going to put it on around the screw here. this wire around our ground wire just so it's out of our way of everything here. Well, it's not all the way around the screw all the way, so I'm going to have to loosen it up. We got our wire wrapped around our ground screw, and we'll just snug it here. Make sure our copper's under the screw head all the way around. I'll connect our black and white wires together. So we'll get our insulation even at the bottom like this here. We'll wrap our strands around each other like this. Make sure we get them even at the end here. And see how our insulation's even at the bottom. Put our wire nut on here, make sure our insulation goes up into the bottom of that wire nut. And we'll do the same with our white wire. Get our insulation even at the bottom like this, like that, and we'll wrap our strands like this, and get our copper to be even on the end here. Our insulation is even here on the bottom. We'll put our wire nut on. Make sure our insulation goes up into our wire nut. 1, 2, make sure it's in. I'll double check my black, make sure all my strands are in. And I can't see, so I'm going to get my flashlight. Make sure our strands are all inside the wire nut. The insulation's in on both of them. Okay, so we'll give them another little shot, make sure they're tight. We'll take our little wing bolts off here, and hopefully I don't lose them. So if I lose them, I'm just going to have to go buy more, that's all. If you don't find them, you don't get frustrated, you don't get upset, you just go buy more. Okay, now we can fit our fixture up onto our box. So we'll just get our wires up into the box here. Up into our box here. Get them all up inside there. Now we'll get our screws, our nut holes. Here. So you gotta find our now we'll just stick our little nuts on here. And what I'm going to put in here is a nice dusk to dawn light bulb. They'll come on and go off automatically. Nice and tight. Make sure no wires are sticking out anywhere. Okay, so now I'll show you the instructions in the box.